Have you ever found yourself puzzled by odd smells at the beach or discolored water along Florida's coastline and wondered, what is happening? You're not alone. Reports dating back to the mid-1800s circulated about peculiar odors and wildlife mortality in unusually colored water. Even earlier, Native Americans like the Timucua and Spanish explorers passing through Florida's Gulf Coast documented large fish kills that might have been caused by an algae we now call red tide. So, let's talk about what red tide is, the health risks involved, and how it's monitored so that you can help keep yourself and those around you informed and safe. What is red tide? Algae are single-celled plant-like organisms, and most of them are beneficial. They serve as a food source for many creatures and produce half the oxygen we breathe through photosynthesis. But there are some microscopic algae commonly referred to as red tide, and when they reach high concentrations, can cause harmful algal blooms that give the water a red, brown, green, yellow, or even pink tinge. In Florida, red tide refers to blooms of a species commonly observed in Florida's Gulf Coast called Karenia brevis. A bloom can last for days, weeks, or even years. Red tide is occasionally transported from the Gulf to the U.S. East Coast and has been observed up to North Carolina. And due to a variety of factors, its location can change rapidly. Blooms typically start during summer or fall, when winds and currents create conditions that concentrate deep populations of red tide cells as they are transported towards the coast. Sunlight, temperature, and salinity are important for growth. Levels of red tide along the coast begin to rise as cells divide in response to the availability of a wide array of natural and man-made nutrient sources. Red tide can occur throughout the water column, and blooms are often patchy. K. brevis produces a suite of toxins called brevetoxins that can affect the central nervous system of fish and other marine life, such as seabirds, sea turtles, and marine mammals, causing these animals to become sick and die. You may be asking yourself, is red tide dangerous to humans? And yes, brevetoxins can affect humans too. During a bloom, wave action can break open K. brevis cells and release brevetoxins into the air. Winds that blow toxins on shore can lead to respiratory irritation in people and pets, although red tide affects everyone differently. It's especially important for people with severe or chronic respiratory conditions such as emphysema or asthma to avoid being close to areas with red tide as it can cause serious illness. If you start to cough or experience itchy or watery eyes, moving away from the beach and into an air-conditioned area can often help provide relief. Red tide toxins also accumulate in shellfish such as oysters and clams, which if consumed can lead to neurotoxic shellfish poisoning. During a red tide, don't harvest shellfish or eat dead or distressed fish. However, shellfish sold from restaurants and grocers is safe. In finfish, the brevetoxins accumulate in the organs of the fish, so the muscle and flesh of the fish remain unaffected and can still be eaten safely. How do we track red tide? Since blooms can change rapidly, they can be challenging to track, predict, and model. As a result, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission works with a large network of staff, partners, and community scientists to monitor conditions statewide. Every day, samples are screened for red tide using microscopy, and results are posted on FWC's Red Tide Weekly Sample Map. Other tools like satellites and underwater samplers can collect critical information and are used to track or predict red tide. Red tide data are put into computer models to forecast movement of blooms or likelihood of respiratory irritation. Want to learn more? Next time you're heading to the coast, remember to check our webpage for results from recent sampling and forecasts. You can also call 866-300-9399 to hear a recording about red tide conditions in Florida. Together, we can help keep our community safe and informed so we can all enjoy our beautiful coastal waters.